So Warren, I'm gonna ask you some very pointed questions. I mean, just straight out. The first thing I want to ask you is, did you kill Nolan? All right.
As if he's going to tell you that on camera. This is all stage.
Warren, we had a chance to get to know each other over the last 2 days. Went out to Horn Island, so I've had an opportunity to talk to you about a few things, and the things that you've told me have literally blown my mind. But the world haven't had a chance yet to hear your story, to hear Nolan's story through you, through his friend, and it's not just you; it's a bunch of y'all. But you know, some of the other guys were afraid because of the threats and the violence that's been threatened against their lives and all of the above. But you decided that you wanted to take this bold step and give a statement and, you know, get your side out here. And I want to start at the very beginning of all of this and ask you, what was your relationship like with Nolan? Who was he to you?
Nolan, I could describe Nolan in a million ways. I mean, Nolan was not just a best friend of me, but he was a brother. I grew up through elementary, middle school, high school, and even our freshman year of college. You know, we talked on the phone all the time. We were really close friends. And I mean, Nolan was like a brother to me. And Nolan lit up every room he walked in. He always had a smile on his face. He always had something good to say. I've never seen Nolan get in an argument with somebody and say bad things about someone. You know, there's a lot of people that talk crap nowadays, and Nolan was never that person. Sweetest soul ever. And I mean, I had a great relationship with Nolan. I've never got in an argument with Nolan. We were super close, and I've never said or will ever have anything bad to say about Nolan Wells.
Yeah, and you guys, you said you kind of grew up together. Mm-hmm. Did you know his mom, or how was that? Because I saw in the media where it appears that she may have said, at least I saw in part, that she said as if she didn't know any of you guys.
Right. Well, Nolan a lot of the times was at like my house and at my buddy's house. We never went to Nolan's house and hung out.
First red flag. So Officer Tatum wanted the kid to say, yeah, I met his mom. Yeah, I know his mom. So he can go back and say, see, the Nolan Wells family, they lying. Nah, you won't go to my mama house, nigga. You can't be, you ain't my best friend. My moms ain't met you, know you by name. You ain't came to Thanksgiving, nigga, had something to eat, nigga. You ain't my best friend. Now, he might be a good friend to Nolan. This not Nolan's best friend. Just straight off the rip.
I mean, and my friend group's very, very tight knit. I mean, we hang out every day when we're back home from school. In high school, we hung out most weekdays and every day on the weekend. And I mean, we were never at Nolan's house, which, you know, there's nothing wrong with that, but
ain't nothing wrong with it. But if you calling me your best friend, you ain't never been to my house. Yeah, bro, you tripping. It's a lie. It's like when somebody passed away. This happened in high school. When somebody passed away when we was in high school, everybody that knew the nigga or the woman or the female, everybody was their best friend. Everybody had a story. They started going to put them up on Instagram. R.I.P. this person. Like, come on, bro. You ain't know that nigga like that.
I met his father, and I mean, in 8th grade, Nolan. That's when Nolan and I like got really close. It was COVID year, and we were in class all year long together. Me and a couple of my buddies, and Nolan and I just got super tight because we'd get a Waffle House once a week together, eat. And I mean, we were just super, super close. But his dad would swing by Waffle House, you know, and like, you know, hang out around us, but never, you know, I was never around Nolan's parents a lot. But I mean, that didn't change our relationship any. Nolan and I were still just as close, and he was just as close with my friends as, you know, anyone else. So,
and walk me through the day of 4th of July where you guys were all going out.
Right.
This seems like something that I would assume that may have occurred more than just this year.
Yeah, of course.
Was it something that you guys did more than just this year? This is a 2-part question. I want to know, is it something that you guys typically did together, that you hang out often in this fashion? And then I want you to then walk me through 4th of July this year when the incident happened.
Okay. You know, being from the Gulf Coast, there's boating and fishing is very, very popular. the 4th of July, every year, my friends and I, or my family and I, are out on the water. I mean, that's the one day is guaranteed everybody's going out. And that's a known thing. Everybody's trying to get a ride out to Horn Island, or, people go to Ship Island, but most of everybody from Ocean Springs and the Gulf Coast go to Horn Island. And, we went last year. Nolan was on the boat with me last year, and he was, this was a common thing. My friends go on the boat when we're home. Very, very common. That's what.
I'm glad I'm into editing. What? Watch this.
Last year, Nolan was on the boat with me last year, and Horn Island. And, we went last year. Nolan was on the boat with me last year, and go to Horn Island. And, we went last year. Nolan was on the boat with me last year, and go to Horn Island. And, we went last year. Nolan was on the boat with me last year, and
why would they cut that? Why would they cut that? I know he went on a dialogue into what happened last year or something, right? So they cut him. They cut it, and it allowed him to re-answer the question. So whatever he said won't be incriminating or make it look like Nolan was a victim. You feel me? But that's interesting on why they cut that and made him re-say this particular question or answer.
He was this was a common thing. My friends go on the boat when we're home. Very, very common. That's what we like to do. My friends like to fish also, and like to go on the boat. Not just fishing, but like to go on the boat, like to go on sunset cruises, like to do it all, on the water, And Nolan loved to do that too. I mean, he was not like anyone. He was just like everyone else in our friend group. He loved to go on the water and have a good time with the guys, and that's what we did a lot. But 4th of July, everybody was out there. Like I said, like Nolan was always trying to go on the boat, trying to go out there with us, and he was always welcome to come. Nolan was always out there with us, and but started 4th of July, my buddies and I had talked about this week's upcoming, everybody's very, very excited for the 4th of July from down here. Like it's a big thing.
It's a big deal. Huh?
Very, very big deal. And, I actually stayed with Nolan that night at my buddy's house, and I woke up at my buddy's house, and we went to McDonald's, got food. Nolan was not with me, and I went and got breakfast. I had my buddy's boat hooked up to my truck.
Who was my buddy? Who was my buddy, and why is it an effort of him keeping saying my buddy? Who is my buddy? We need to know who that is.
And first I ran to my house, then I went to McDonald's and came back, and the boat was already hooked up to my truck. My buddy Wyatt and I went, and with my buddy, and we went, filled the buddy. Wyatt and I went, and with my buddy, and we went truck. My buddy Wyatt and I went, and with my buddy, and we went.
So they cut his name out. Who is my buddy? This is why. This is not a good faith interview. This is trying to clear my name interview. Trying to make light of the situation.
Filled the top of
not even make light of a situation, but not incriminate himself, because he might not have nothing to do with it, or he might have everything to do with it. But this is one of them interviews you can get it. You get it to the race hustler who condemns black people and their behavior to his audience, and then he'll call out somebody else for race hustling, but it's all he does to his audience. He paints black people in one of the worst images that you can. But since he's black, but he got a white wife and children. But since he's black, white folks they take a liking to it. It's like it's a shock value. Oh, we have a black that's talking the same talk we talk. See, we know what we talking about. We got a black on our side, calling out his own community. We're right.
Boat off, loaded it down with ice, and just got everything ready. Then Wyatt went and put his smaller boat in the water, which is the Palm Beach. He's an 18-foot Palm Beach, and I drove the boat from Fort Bayou boat launch to my buddy's grandparents' house, and that's where we all plan to meet up.
In the comments, who is my buddy? Cause y'all know, y'all been on this. Who is my buddy? Why do he not want to say that man's name?
That day, and
you said we all. Who are you talking about? You, Nolan, and how many people are going to meet you guys there?
We had roughly 20 to 30 people coming on 3 separate boats with us, and so we were all following each other out there as one big group. You know, it wasn't just me and Nolan and a couple other of my buddies. There was 20 or 30 people spread out where we all met at the dock before, and then we departed to go to Horn Island. It wasn't just a couple of us. I mean, there were so many people, we had to split up between 3 boats, and we all left and all got there at the same time.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that's clear, because the statements that are out there made it appear that it was just you, Nolan, and probably 2 or 3 other guys, and y'all are the only ones that went out to this island.
And that's completely incorrect. I mean,
that's a lie. Nobody ever said that. Nobody ever said that these were the only people that went out to the island. The pictures and videos even let us know they weren't the only people on the island. That's a lie. That is an emphatic lie. Now, what people think is it was only a few people on the boat that Nolan Wells went back with. That's what we think. The 3 or 4. We looking at the picture, only our eyes can assume, well, maybe they was with these guys. But nobody thought that Nolan Wells went out on the island by himself with only 3 or 4 people. Nobody, that has never been the messaging.
On the 4th of July is the most popular day to be on the water throughout the entire Gulf Coast. I mean, everybody and their mom is on the water on 4th of July, you know. There's no telling. I mean, roughly probably 2 to 3, maybe even 4,000 people out there. There were boats lined up off the island. I mean, there was 3 rows of boats all the way until my vision ended, until I could see of people there was 1 row of boats, and then there was another row of boats.
That many people, why did nobody see what happened to Nolan Wells? That many people. Nobody seen anything.
Boats, and then there was a 3rd row of boats. Yeah. I mean, there was people lined up all up and down the island to where, I mean, who knows? I mean, and that wasn't just, we were parked on the north side, on the west tip. It wasn't just there. I mean, there's tons of people packed out on the south side and on the east end and in the middle of the island. But just where we were, I mean, there was easily 1,000 people. It wasn't just us.
Let's go back a little bit. I want to go back to you guys at the dock, getting on the boat. You're saying there's multiple people, probably 20 or 30 people getting on 3 boats.
Right.
What boat were you on, and what boat was Nolan on?
Nolan was on Wyatt's 22 Triton. On the way out, I went with my buddy Bart because we had a lot of friends from college coming down.
On the way out. Did I hear that? Nolan was on Wyatt's 22 Trident on the way out.
Nolan was on Wyatt's 22 Triton. On the way out, I went with my buddy Bart because we had a lot of friends from college coming down. And on the way out, I was on Wyatt's 22 Triton. On the way out, I went with my buddy Bart to Triton.
Is he saying Nolan was on Wyatt's 22 Triton on the way out? Or are you saying Nolan was on Wyatt's 22 Trident, comma, on the way out I went? What is he saying?
Boat was Nolan on?
Nolan was on Wyatt's 22 Triton. On the way out, I went with my buddy Bart because we had a lot of friends from college coming down. And I called Bart that morning. I was like, "Hey man, can you take your boat out?" And he was like, "Yeah, well, my dad's decided not to go, and I'll take the boat."
On the way out to the island.
And I'll take you and your friends, of course. I mean, he's a buddy of mine. And so Bart pulled up at the dock, and I mean,
he can say Bart name, but the guy house that he was at when he said Nolan Wells and him went to sleep there, why did he address him as my buddy? Whoever that was, whoever my buddy is, has some incriminating information on him. Most definitely. Because he had to protect that name. But he gonna say 6, 7, 8 different more names.
I rode out there with Bart and a lot of the girls that go to college with my friends and I. And Nolan rode out on the Triton, and then we had a Palm Beach, 18 Palm Beach. There was 4 guys on that. There was like 8 people on the Triton, and then there was 8 or 9 people on the Triton, and then there was the rest of the group, which was probably ranged from maybe 10 to 15 or 16 people on my buddy's tide line, which is 24 tide line.
And so you guys get on, and I know a little bit more than the audience do because we went out there a little earlier because I wanted to see exactly what the drive was like, what the dock was like, how far it is out there.
Of course.
But I want you to tell, the audience, like, what was this trip like? How was the waters? Did you guys do anything in between the time you rode and the time you get to the island? Was there music? Is it like a big party? Like, what is that?
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously music's blasting. It's 4th of July, man. I mean, everybody's really excited. And I mean, we had a lot of people loaded down. So obviously our biggest, we're just trying to make sure everybody, gets out there safe. And so, I mean, on the way out there, it was pretty calm. I think it was blowing like 3 or 4 knots. I mean, the waters were clear. It was a great day to be on the water. Sunshine, not cloudy at all. And I mean, it was a great day to be out there on 4th of July. And
that's another thing. Nolan is non-confrontational. Nolan wouldn't argue with anybody. Nolan was a good guy. It was a great day out there. The waters were calm. There was a lot of people on this island, maybe 1,000 people, but nobody's seen anything that happened to Nolan, right? Nobody? That's because I believe he went back to the island with one of those 3 boats. The Trident, the whatever, the 18-footer or the 24-footer. He went back.
I mean, we followed each other out, and I mean, it was calm. It was calm. On the way back, it was a little more rough, but it was not anything. All my buddies.
He threw a little nugget out there. On the way back, it was a little bit more rough, giving them a little insight that, well, when we went back around this particular time, the waters were rough. So maybe Nolan Wells was in the water at that time for him to show up dead, but nobody seen it.
These boats couldn't handle, or like it wasn't like we were getting really beat up or anything. I mean, it was pretty calm.
And so you guys get out there. I'm assuming that you line the boats up because I'm envisioning the picture of getting out there and there's hundreds of boats. Mm-hmm. There's thousands of people. Yeah. So it wasn't just you guys on a deserted island.
Of course not.
A few people. This is thousands of people out there.
Right.
And there's a lot of people doing what? What does it look like when you first pull up?
I pull up, and we pulled up at 10:30. I mean, it wasn't. I mean, early afternoon. I mean, it wasn't. But 10:30 is, still pretty early in the day. And when we got there was already 3 rows of boats lined up all the way, like I said, until I could see. And
you're talking, when you say all you can see, you're speaking about miles.
Yeah.
Of boat. When we went out there earlier today, but when we went out there, the island is massive.
Correct.
I mean, it's just several miles long.
Roughly 10 to 12 miles. I mean, it's.
So you think that the boat?
I want to hear all this shit. Ask the questions that people want to know. You want to do this softball ass interview to this boy. That's why in the beginning he tried to make it seem like he asked him tough questions. Oh, did you kill? No, nigga, this is a softball interview. But I know there's more parts to it. He only want to release this first part, but let's see.
We're stretching from one end to the next, or just a small area of about a mile or less than a mile of boats?
Well, I mean, I think there was boats all the way around the entire island, but I think some spots were more popular than others. Like the West Tip is usually very, very crowded on the 4th of July, and everybody knows that. So that's where a lot of people park because they want to be around other people. And the East End's a little more, there's not as many people, but there's still a lot of boats out there. I mean, it's not like no one, I mean, every area of Horn Island was covered, 100%.
Wow. So you get out there, y'all jump out. What do? You know, when I say jump out, you obviously not just sitting on the boat. The island is there. Like, what exactly are people doing there? Like, are you spending more time in the water, on the island, in the boat? Like, how is that look out there?
I mean, everybody, as soon as you get there, I mean, there's people on boats, grabbing drinks and, food, whatever else. Like, I mean, everybody is fully prepared for the 4th of July. They bring, all the drinks and food that they need because, I mean, they've been preparing for 4th for a little while now. But when we got there, I helped my buddies tie the boats up because the tie line was right here, the Palm Beach was in the middle, and then the Triton was on the outer side. And there was about a drop off from where the bow was. I mean, if you jumped off the bow, you were probably about neck deep in water. But if you got off the stern, you were probably waist deep in water. I mean, but when we got there, we tied up, got, bow and rear anchor set, and we tied up all the boats, made sure they were good, and everyone just got on the water. And then eventually, next thing you know, it's our group, and then, next thing you know, there's 50 other people around us, and then it just grew and grew as the day came on. And I mean, that's just how it was. Everybody's drinking, I mean, it's 4th of July, everyone's just trying to enjoy themselves, and it's a big party, basically, big party.
Yeah, so y'all pretty much having a good time. Just like anybody would imagine, 18-year-olds, probably 20-year-olds, college students, out on the island, women. You probably had alcohol, so y'all having a good time.
Yeah, of course.
And so where's Nolan? And
probably had fucking alcohol. We've seen the pictures and the videos of them holding and drinking. Probably had alcohol.
You guys out there, the friend groups are out there. 3 boats full of people that came out there that seem to be the closest friend group.
Right.
Where's Nolan in this in comparison to where you and others are at?
Well, I had a couple conversations with Nolan that day, and I talked to him and a couple of my other buddies. In a group, I was not focused on anyone solely, like looking and pointing anyone out, because there's so many people out there. I mean, I was talking to my friends that I haven't seen in a while from high school. I was talking from people I knew from college. I was talking to, everybody my age, and even people older than us were, over there. Like, I mean, it was just a regular thing. We're all used to this. We've been out to the islands before. My buddies don't just go out to the island on 4th of July, but they go out, every weekend. Like, I fish the islands. I don't just, fish around Horn Island. I fish around Ship Island too. So I'm very familiar with the islands. And I feel like it was just a big, I talked to Nolan, and, Nolan was drinking. Everybody was drinking, most of everybody. And I mean,
do y'all understand why this is a little bit problematic? He said, he positioned him to give this information that Nolan was drinking. Yeah, probably was drinking. And then he go on this dialogue of where was Nolan into this. Okay, I wasn't just focused on Nolan like that. I got a lot of friends mingling with, talking with. But he comes back to Nolan. Nolan was drinking. Why is that significant for them to have him say this on camera? Because what's going to happen is they gonna rule this as an accidental death. Alcohol was involved, probably drugs that was involved as well. This is what they setting the tone for. This is what Officer Tatum want. So when he go back on his show, the boy was drinking. Maybe he would have. Yeah, no, this is not Warren. This is not his. This Nolan wasn't Warren's best friend. Because you're not even gonna allow yourself to make your homie look bad to clear yourself. If you know nothing nefarious happened on your end, let's figure out what it is. You know what I'm saying? Nolan was drinking. Like, why did he? That was just random.
Drinking. Everybody. It was just I'm very familiar with the islands, and I feel like it was just a big. I talked to Nolan, and Nolan was drinking.
You feel me? It's like, don't forget to tell. Don't forget to say this in the interview that Nolan was drinking.
Everybody was drinking, most of everybody, and I mean, Nolan seemed completely fine too. So I'm very familiar with the islands, and I feel like it was just a big. I talked to Nolan, and Nolan was drinking. Everybody was drinking, most of everybody, and I mean, Nolan seemed completely fine every time I talked to him. We had just regular conversations, and Nolan was making me laugh. I had a couple conversations with Nolan and Javon, Nolan and my buddy James, Nolan, and I mean, I can tell you, I mean, I talked to Nolan a couple times, but it wasn't like I was strictly sitting there talking to Nolan the whole day. I mean, there was.
Yeah, you mentioned these dude names, but the dude with the boat, the buddy with the boat, he didn't mention his name, but he did say we were drinking, and every time I seen and talked to Nolan, he was perfectly fine.
Hundreds of people I knew out there, so.
Yeah, and Nolan said something interesting. You told me about this. Something he said to you, I would say would be indicative of y'all's friendship.
Right.
And then he also mentioned something to you about that particular day and what it meant to him.
Right.
And could you share that?
Right. Yeah. So Nolan and my buddy Javon are talking, and I grew up with Nolan, and Nolan's just all, like I said, like just so joyful, like always happy. Like every picture I have with Nolan or picture I have of Nolan, he's smiling. I mean, like he's
Officer Tatum fake ass smile. You don't give a damn about this black boy. You give a damn about the story and clearing these white boy names. That's really what it is. Can you tell me what you told me about Nolan and his? You don't give a damn about that family.
always happy. If I always need like a shed of light, I'm calling Nolan, and Nolan and I laugh and joke a lot. Like that's how our friend group is. We're really jokingly laugh. No one takes anything that serious. We enjoy our time together. I mean, there's never any awkwardness within our friend group. We're very, very tight. So if I ever need to get something off my chest or talk to anybody, I'm talking to all my friends. I'm not just talking to like specifically anybody. I would go out, like even if I'm having issues with something, I go talk to my group chat, and my guys are there to, give me a hand anytime I need it. And all my guys are, all my buddies are the same exact way. Nolan was the same exact way. If you ever need something, I'm here, man. Like that's how he was. So.
And then you guys get ready to leave prematurely,
right?
And like, what? Explain that, because you guys got there around 10.
Yeah,
it's now 4:30.
Right.
People are still out there partying, and
Correct.
They're having a good time. But something happened to where it necessitated you guys to get the boat up and running. Can you explain that?
Yeah.
They said they left around 4. Now he's corroborating that they left around 4:30. I'm gonna tell you this: do not trust anything that Officer Tatum does when it comes to anything. This dude is a grifter. He only care about himself and enriching his pockets, especially when it has something to do with race relations and incidents happen when black people are losing their lives. He's gonna you have never seen Officer Tatum said, you know what, that might have been something racial right there. I'm not completely sure, but that might have been something racial, and that person needs justice. You ain't never heard that shit. Every viral case that happens towards somebody black, and then you get. I don't like Al Sharpton, and I don't like Ben Crump, but for the most part, they be getting people justice. Yeah, they might be race hustling. That's them. That don't mean the crime that happened isn't valid. You know what I'm saying? That don't mean it's not valid. So, but what these conservatives and these bootlickers like goddamn Officer Tatum like to do, they like to neglect it. They like to neglect and reject the entire premise or circumstance involving somebody black, because they want to say, oh, you're making it about race. Well, what about the death of this individual? Even if we don't even make it about race, what about the death? They can't do that. They're gonna always stick to their plan and serve their white daddies, man. And it is what it is.